very common, very normal pork wash.
Hello all and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. If you are new, I invite you to subscribe. Before you continue watching the video, subscribe, and for all those who are coming back, welcome back. Today I'm sharing with you a recipe of 4 snacks that I make for my kids. Today I'm gonna be making crepe, which is translated as pancake. The measurements for all your ingredients will be in the description box. The first thing you start doing, we are making pancakes, as I mentioned earlier, is to mix your flour with your butter. Make sure you get your butter out of your fridge at least 30 minutes before you start mixing your ingredients together. So that's what I'm going to start with, mixing the butter with the flour, and ensure that it is well mixed. The next step is sugar. I'm adding my sugar, mixing now the 3 ingredients, flour, butter, and sugar. So you guys can see, it has to be well mixed. I am now breaking my eggs on the side. I don't put it directly in the flour. I put the eggs on the side. Mixing the milk and the eggs together. Baking powder. I forgot to mention that when I was mentioning the ingredients. Yes, I'm gonna need some baking powder, and I'm adding a teaspoon, half a tablespoon of half a tablespoon of baking soda. I mixed it with the milk and the eggs you can add it however you want, actually, either directly to your dough or whatever. Yes, so I'm whisking my eggs and milk together to make sure they are well mixed, and then I'll mix it all with the flour, butter, and the sugar mixture that was already there. Whisk it all together, mix it well. I'm sure, and as you guys can see, I have to mix it really well to make sure there are no little balls in it. That's why you see me mix it as I am doing right there. I am adding my vanilla extract. You can use whatever flavor you like. There is citrus, coffee, whatever extract you like. I'm using vanilla today. Mixing and mixing everything together. Now, as you guys can see, my mixture is still very thick there, and when you make crepes, the difference between crepes and pancakes is that crepes have to be super light. They are not as heavy and thick as pancakes, so that's why you see me adding a lot of milk to make sure that it is light. You see, I have well mixed my dough. I think it is ready. I have let it sit for a couple of minutes. You don't really have to, but I just did for maybe 5 or 6 minutes ish. I'm using a pan which I put on the stove and spread a little bit of oil in it and let it get hot. Then I added my mixture in the pan, as you guys saw me doing. Spread it all around the pan for it to give me what you guys can see. Once the other side is ready, I'll turn it around. You do not have to use your fingers. I'm an expert. I have done pancakes for the longest time. That's why I can I turn it with my hands like that without getting burnt. Use a utensil like the one I'm holding there to flip your pancake around. And all you're gonna have to do is repeat the process until you are done making your crepes.
Give in to me, Paint my life into a masterpiece, coloring it how I want it to be. Won't stop till I see what I want to see.
Woohoo! We are now done with the first snack, which is crepes, and on to the next one. The next snack I am making, it's a snack originally from Cameroon. We call it caramel. It is a snack made up of peanuts and sugar or granules. Call it whatever you like. And for this recipe, I am using a cup, like a tea cup or coffee cup, as you guys can see there. I have measured 2 cups of peanuts and half the amount of cup of peanuts of sugar. So there is 2 cups of peanuts and 1 cup of sugar, as you guys can see me adding there. I am mixing it all together, and then quarter of water, which I've added in there, and mixing it all together too. You don't need a lot of water because the water has to all drain, and then you mix it up and it will give you the amazing texture. Alright, so I am mixing everything together. It is all well mixed. I'll go ahead and I'll put my pot on the stove, and I'll light my stove to the highest, on the highest, yes. My mom taught me this recipe, and I'll let it on the stove until all the water is drained out, all the water dries out. There is still water. I will constantly be checking to make sure that it is not burning and stuff. So there is still water. I'll cover my pot and wait for a little bit. Okay, now I'll come back again and check, and at this point I'm realizing that the water is drying out, the sugar has melted, you see. So I'll start turning the mixture, as you guys can see. You see, you have to, at this point you have to be turning at all times because the water has dried out. You don't want it to burn, and at this point too, your fire should, the heat of your stove should no longer be at high, but it can be at medium at this point as you are turning and mixing it together, because you don't want it to burn. You're just ensuring that it really dries well, and the nuts become very well caramelized. Anyways, observe as how it goes.
You're sick of my madness. Don't you tell me what I supposed to do. You're better off without me. Don't you tell me what I supposed to do.
At this point you need a lot of strength because it becomes really difficult to turn it. It's like hard. I don't know why, but at this point it's hard. That's why it's good when you're starting to do this in little amounts like I'm doing now. If you're doing this for the first time, don't try to double the measurements. Do the measurements as I showed you. It's easier for you. Once you have what is the word?
I know what I'm supposed to do.
Once you have mastered the art, then you can double the measurements, triple the measurements as you like. But for the beginning, do the measurement as I showed you, okay? Alright, my nuts are ready. You take some, like a flat pan or anything and you place it on there. You'll spread it around your, I'm using a tray. I'll spread it around your tray. Remember, this is really hot, so you don't need to use a plastic tray. Use something, a wooden tray, or you know, something that wouldn't get burnt. So I spray it around and I let it dry for some time. I'll let it dry, as you guys see. So once it's dry and everything, I'll put it in a container with the lid, and I cover it, because if you leave it open in the air, it will absorb the air and it will become soft. As soon as you're not so dry, you let it out, you dry it up. Once it is dry and it's no longer hot or warm, you put it in your container and cover it with a lid, and you serve it to your kids as snack as needed. The only thing with this one is that it has lots of sugar, so this is not one you're gonna give to your kids all the time, but once in a while. And my kids love this. I love it too. Alright, we are done with this one. On to the next one. This is called beignet souffle, which I also learned from my country, Cameroon. I don't know if other people do it, but for this, the ingredients you need are flour, milk, baking powder, eggs, sugar, and a little bit of salt. I did this one with my kids, so it's a little bit chaotic, but bear with me. They were wanting to help, so why not? The first thing we did was to mix butter and sugar together. My son was helping with the mixture, so we make sure we thoroughly mix the sugar and the butter together.
I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. When you're crushing on my dreams and you're making me so.
I am now mixing the baking powder with the milk. What you guys see me mixing there is baking powder with the milk. The ingredients of all of this and the measurements will be in the description box, so don't worry about that. Now I am adding my eggs. I'm using 4 eggs for this recipe. Yes, I'm adding my eggs to the butter and the sugar mixture that I just did. I'm adding the eggs to it and whisking it all together. And for this recipe, to ensure you leave your butter out of the fridge at least 30 minutes before you use it to bake. That's the mixture there: the butter, sugar, and the eggs. These are the same ingredients I'm using for pancakes, but the mixture is different, and the texture too. The pancakes are lighter and this is a bit thicker. Okay, I'm still mixing it well, because it has to be well mixed. Some people use their blender to blend the mixture for their pancakes or for their beignet souffle. I don't know the name of this in English. Beignet is more like donuts, so it's some kind of donuts, but we did that. I ate this a lot back home when I was younger in Cameroon. I am adding my vanilla extract again into the butter, sugar, and eggs. Now it is well mixed. My son is helping me add the milk. We gradually add the milk to the mixture. We didn't add everything at once, but you add milk and mix it well together. Honestly, I'm adding gradually because my measurements were not right. I was just ensuring everything was right. But if you follow the measurements, you can add all of your milk at once in the mixture. Now I am adding the flour. Before the flour, you're going to add it gradually. You're going to add half of your flour first. Mix it, whisk it well together. I really hope you guys will get something from this recipe. I know I didn't film the specific one well. It was a bit chaotic doing it with my kids. I was paying attention to what they were doing, so it was not easy at all. At this point I am now adding the second half of the flour into my bowl to mix it with the other ingredients, the eggs, the milk, the sugar, the butter, and I start whisking it, mixing it all and well together to have the texture that I need to make my beignet, my donuts. After the helping hands of my children and a gazillion mixing and whisking, this is the texture that we have. So I have already placed my pan on the stove and put oil in it. We are going to deep fry these ones. So you have to put lots of oil in your pan to be able to deep fry it. My children were so excited to help with this one. So the process continues, but we are almost done. The pan is on the stove with oil. We wait for it to get hot. Alrighty, the oil is hot enough and I am now frying my beignet, my donuts. I washed my hands and I am grabbing the dough with my hands, and as you guys can see I am cutting it and placing it in my pan. Do what works for you. If using a spoon will be better for you, use a spoon. I prefer using my fingers like this because it gives me a really nice and beautiful shape. Our beignet souffle is starting to cook and looking amazing and delicious. The color looks nice. I love how it looks, and I'm happy that it was a success despite having a lot of people in the kitchen. We did it. So I am turning it on the stove, making sure all the sides are cooking well, browning well, having a nice color. Well, our donuts are all cooked. Look at this. Don't you want to eat this? It looks delicious. It looks really good and it tasted really good. We are done with the donuts, and another snack that my kids really loved. As I am editing this video, I'm thinking I have to do it again today, Saturday morning. Alright guys, we are on the last one. I saved the best for the last, and this one is a salty snack, and it's meatballs. Yes, we eat meatballs in my home as a snack. I make it and we just grab it and eat it. Alright, so let's go with the ingredients. I'm starting by cutting my onions, garlic, leeks, I added celery and now it's leeks. Yeah, leeks and celery. All the green ingredients is there. What was I here? Something bell pepper, salt, chicken mixture, about three teaspoons of that. Black pepper and white pepper, smoked paprika, the blended mixture, the stuff I was cutting, this is what I have blended and that's what it gave me. And then I mix everything together, mix it well. A lot of mixing happens in this channel. Mix it. Once I am done mixing, the next thing to do is to start forming balls like this. I make them a little big because when they cook, they shrink. I guess it's because there's lots of water in the meat, and once all that water is out, I think water and oil, they really do shrink. Anyways, I was talking and here we are. This is already, I do steam them a little bit before getting them fried, and this is what I got. I cooked them, I put them in a pot with just a little bit of water, got them boiled, and this is what I got. The next thing I did was to get them fried, and I am frying them. Okay, you guys, the meatballs are ready, and this is what they look like. These are delicious. Everybody likes this ones. Lovely, like amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, this is what they look like. I want to show you guys what the inside is like. And that's it. You have 4 snacks, delicious snacks to make for your kids. Let me taste this one for you guys.
Shibare, shibare, shibare. They are talking shit, shibare. Water no getting in me till you vow for shimire. I put my eye, 10 shots, high ride.
Of course, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and always remember, love always wins.
I done break commandment. I can't stay for one place, for God's sake, my babe.